Welcome viewers, the aging narcissist. Have you ever met someone who grew older but never truly grew up? Most people imagine age brings wisdom, humility, gratitude and perspective. But for the narcissist, time often works differently. Every wrinkle becomes an insult, every lost opportunity becomes someone else's fault, every success enjoyed by another becomes another reminder that the world has failed to provide the admiration they still believe they deserve. The aging narcissist does not simply face old age, they wage war against old age. As beauty fades, status weakens, careers end and influence diminishes, the carefully constructed identity they spent decades protecting begins to fracture. Relationships grow distant, friendships disappear, family members quietly withdraw. The applause becomes quieter, yet the craving for validation becomes louder. What remains is often not peace, but desperation. Well, viewers, I've made this documentary and I'm going to introduce Randy Andretti, who explores what happens when a personality built upon superiority, control, admiration, and entitlement collides with a reality that can no longer be manipulated. It follows the gradual psychological collapse that occurs when life itself refuses to keep feeding the false self. Because age, which is approaching all of us, is something that no narcissist can dominate forever. Eventually, every mask begins to crack, viewers. And when the audience leaves, the aging narcissist is finally left alone with the one person they spent a lifetime trying to escape. And that person is, you guessed it, themselves. Randy Andretti, the aging narcissist, meets midlife crisis.
Good morning, this is Randy. When the narcissist reaches midlife, as young as 45, maybe even earlier, they start to review in their own minds how they've lived, how they have not met up to their own expectations due to frivolous behavior, irresponsibility, poor money management. The likelihood is at that point that they do not have much to show for themselves in terms of success, and that grandiosity gap becomes glaringly clear. They also begin to think about what might happen in their older age. Will they need someone to take care of them? And who will take care of them? And do they have enough money to pay somebody or bribe someone to take care of them? If they're like most narcissists, they have addictions. If they have an alcohol addiction or other addictions that consume their time and energy and health, and if they're financially irresponsible and lazy, they probably do not have the money or the savings or the financial security looking forward to pay or bribe someone to take care of them. Depending on how they've abused their body, they may think about needing someone to take care of them sooner rather than later. And this is the severe abnormal response to the more normal midlife crisis that the average person may deal with at the same point in their life. So, what options does the narcissist have at this point? Well, if they have a partner and they have the partner or a group of children or even a golden child, if they have someone locked down, someone who's a sure bet, that they have locked in some way, and that they feel safe and secure, that they can continue to control that person for the next 20, 30 years, their fears may be somewhat relieved. If they have a whole lot of money, they may not worry about it because they can always pay somebody to take care of them if needed. However, if they don't have a partner locked down that's really secure, that has been on the hamster wheel or perhaps just got on the hamster wheel, that's constantly admiring them and that has a lot of energy and doesn't question the narcissist and is a sure bet, they may be able to relax easy as they battle with that grandiosity gap internally. However, they always look outside of themselves for who's going to help them and who they can depend on, in spite of and regardless of how they've treated the others in their life. In my situation, I had a fiscally irresponsible narcissist partner who reached midlife and began asking himself these questions and began becoming fearful, even in a overly paranoid and an obsessive, kind of a psychotic manner. It was even at the point where when he would see an old man walking with a cane or older men walking around in the community, he would kind of stop and stare. And I'm reaching because I, of course, can't read the narcissist's mind, but it did seem to me that there was something going on inside the mind when he would stop and stare, and even a couple times made comments. He was identifying with these old men who may be disabled in some way, who had difficulty moving around. And I think he was putting himself in the place of those men, knowing what he does to his body every day with chemicals, and how he is a chronic insomniac who does not get the proper amount of rest, does not eat appropriately, and smokes like a fiend. He truly does have something to worry about. It's not like he's been taking care of himself, for the past 10, 15, 20 years, like some other people would. It's not even like he made a decision to start taking care of himself, because he had been doing that for years, making these decisions and then reneging on them, not actually doing it for a week, doing it for 2 weeks, but no commitment to change his lifestyle. And so he continued to put himself in the position of the chain smoker, the alcoholic, the person who doesn't take care of his teeth, the person who doesn't go to the doctor, the person who feels like he's can rule the world and doesn't ever need any kind of intervention and does not need to implement any kind of self-discipline or self-control. Like a teenager. So when the narcissist gets to this midlife point and they're realizing that they need to really lock in one or as many as possible people who are going to help them, just in case they never do, win that lotto or get that inheritance or, get that windfall, invent that $1 million making, item or idea. In case that doesn't happen, they need to lock somebody down. And if you've been with the narcissist for a while, like I had, I wasn't buying into the shit anymore. I would do gray rock during silent treatment. I would, move to a different room. I would do what I wanted to do, and sometimes I would just accept the punishment, accept the consequences. I'm a bit rebellious like that. I'm not a doormat. Never have been. I wanted to please, but at some point, no, it doesn't work for me. So my narcissist got that feeling, and despite the things that he did to me, like treating me like shit intermittently, and going back on his word, not keeping promises, not doing his part of the household chores, not keeping up his part of the financial kind of responsibilities that we shared, and then, to top it off, all the, nasty porn and cheating. That's what ended it for me. That was the last straw. I don't play that game, and he wanted to play that game, and when I discovered that, it was, the beginning of the end. And then the nerve to accuse me of, I'm afraid you won't take care of me. Well, he was stating the truth, and he was stating a true fear that he had and should have, because really, why would I? Really, why would I take care of him? But, the narcissist rewrites history, and they don't keep things in chronological order in terms of cause and effect. So it was not that I would not have taken care of him had he treated me better. It wasn't even that he was sick and needed to be taken care of at that point. He had plenty of time to change his ways, begin treating me like a human being, begin being responsible, and begin acting as a husband and a partner should. And if that continued, if that would have started, and if that would have continued, of course I would be there to take care of him. But the narcissist doesn't want to put any effort into this. He found that he couldn't even rely on himself to make appropriate changes so that he could secure me as the kind of supply that he wanted and might need in the future, that he anticipated he would need in the future. He didn't even have enough confidence in himself, such a coward, that he could even do what it takes, pull himself up by his own damn bootstraps, do what it takes to maintain the supply that he did already have by changing. No, he felt it would be easier, because the narcissist always takes the easy route, the path of least resistance. He felt it was easier to find a new person that it might take, 10, 20 years for her to catch on and for her to decide that she's not taking that shit. And in the meantime, be taking care of him. So that is my conclusion about how the aging narcissist may think. This is what I got out of the narcissist that I was married to and his thinking, and I suspect that there's a lot of commonalities with other narcissists who begin to worry about their future and what kind of supply they have, and assess the willingness, the commitment of the different kinds of supply that they have, and then kind of take a risk and discard one supply in exchange for another that they think may be a better bet. Thanks for listening, guys.